Hare Krishna, this is Jvalamukhi Dasi with the J File series. This is number 24. The last one I was speaking about the murders that happened, and I said I would be uplifting the heart with my understanding of how all of that was sanctioned, but I didn't make it all the way through, so that's going to happen in this one. This next one is an article written by somebody who was waking up to the fact about it, and it describes the Great Sinister Movement. Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter, and I will read it here and do my best to explain what happened. I present this article here in full because it does a very good job of describing what really took place. Thank you to whoever wrote it. May you stay safe. There was no name associated with it that I could find. It is a fact, however, that the Great Sinister Movement is within our society. Srila Prabhupada's letter to Hamsaduta, 2nd of September 1970. Srila Prabhupada is very precise with his usage of words, and he says the word movement, which is not just one or two individuals. In fact, not just a movement, but the Great Sinister Movement. What is the Great Sinister Movement in this world? It is the Illuminati. See the links below and at the end for more info, and some of its pawns entered into ISKCON in the 1969 through 70 and eventually took complete control. After poisoning Srila Prabhupada, these Illuminati tools immediately began to poison his spiritual message by systematically changing his pure writings. Recently, with the help of one of their main agents, the world media, they have made propaganda that Prabhupada is the ringleader of a child abuse cult. They themselves are the cult of child abusers. See propagandamatrix.com, multimedia/CIA Satanism. I'll try to put the links here. And they turned ISKCON into a similar child abuse cult and then blamed Srila Prabhupada for it. Thus, we can see a clear pattern to destroy the movement and protect their agenda of world domination by a threefold attack on Srila Prabhupada, namely, attack on his form, on his message, original transcendental writings, and lastly, on his good name. The recent propaganda to smear the name of Srila Prabhupada has been deliberately performed to counter the massive amounts of Prabhupada's original books, 55 million and upwards. Good job, Caitanya, that they have already distributed. By blaspheming the pure devotee, they hope to create a mass apathy towards these original writings, and thus the atmosphere all over the world becomes completely unfavorable to spiritual realization. I want you to sit with that a minute. That's really important, because these books, each one of them is a transcendental bomb of Krishna Prema just waiting to explode. And there are more than 55 million of these books everywhere. And it's not just read by the person who has them, they're spread around. So it is a very big concern to the demons. How are we going to cover the effect of Srila Prabhupada's writings? Oh, I know. When people get his books and they'll be all excited, yay, we found a way out of the material world. They're going to look up whatever information they have on him online, and then they're going to say child abuse. They're going to see cult. They're going to get scared and say, oh, wait, maybe maybe this isn't for me. Or, what's so sad is, like, even so-called devotees, they're like, oh, the stupidity, the sad state of affairs, that people actually blame Srila Prabhupada for what took place. I mean, it's just so sad. There are no words for it. But it's not the fact. What is the fact is that these demons have incredible evil genius intelligence on how to F everything up and prevent you from going back to Godhead by destroying your faith in Srila Prabhupada. And they're going to do it in just... Kali has his representatives, the Kali Chelas. And they are so expert at what they do because their intelligence is given by an agent of God. Dark agent, but agent nonetheless. So that video that I made recently, the 3-part series called The Evil Agenda, where we speak about Bob Cohen and Howard Resnick and what they were doing, that's what they're doing. They are externally, when people come and look at the movement and they see, oh, child abuse, that's one thing. But what about the devotees who have been in the organization and been in the movement for so long? They love Srila Prabhupada. They accept Srila Prabhupada. So how do you turn their faith? How do you get a chink? How do you get a little wedge in the door to crack open their sealed faith in Srila Prabhupada? How do we insert doubt? Oh, just follow them, and there you go. That's how they begin to make you see Srila Prabhupada as an ordinary man, and then I'm getting blasted. Oh, you're so offensive, you have no proof, and you're really reaching for it there. They don't know. They don't know. They didn't watch my J series. So, where did I leave off after that little rant? Okay. By blaspheming the pure devotee, they hope to create a mass apathy towards these original writings, and thus the atmosphere all over the world becomes completely unfavorable to spiritual realization. The Illuminati, whose basic goal is to create a new world order without God, or with Satan, became aware of Srila Prabhupada and his philosophy at least as early as December 26, 1968, when Srila Prabhupada was interviewed by an LA Times reporter about the moon trip. The Illuminati control all mainstream media so as to feed the people only the information they want them to hear. Thus, they would have become very disturbed to hear Srila Prabhupada exposing their planned attempts to con the public out of billions of tax dollars via their fake moon landing scam. They would have also become aware that Prabhupada's basic principles of no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling, if followed by the masses, would completely finish their demonic civilization. Prabhupada talks about this point in 1976. If the movement, goes and becomes very strong, then our business will be lost. Kill him. Prabhupada. So, this movement should be pushed very vigorously, and so far we have become successful. And enemies will be always, as soon as there is something good. That is the way of material world. Even Krishna had enemies, what to speak of us, eh? So many enemies, but he was powerful. He killed all them. Nobody could kill him. But there was attempt to kill him from the very beginning of his birth. He had so many enemies. As soon as Kamsa heard that his sister is now newly married, but as soon as there was some foretelling, oh, are you taking care of your sister so nicely? The 8th child of this sister will kill you. Oh, where is that, your child? Where is pregnancy? Nothing. He became angry. So why wait for 8th child? Kill my sister. Long before taking birth of Krishna, the mother was to be killed. This is the position of this material world. So he became so bad that my sister, he did not consider that she is my sister and she is just newly married. Where is pregnancy? Where is child? And that is the 8th child. And what will happen after that? No consideration. Immediately, kill him, kill her. This is the position. So we are instructing no intoxication. So those who are flourishing by selling cigarettes and wine and liquor, they do not immediately kill him. Oh yes. In this way, if the movement goes and becomes very strong, then our business will be lost. Kill him. So naturally, they will be enemies. The same thing. The Kamsa saw that this is my sister. Now she is married. So although it will take some long time, but here is the cause. So they are thinking like that. No meat eating. Then all slaughterhouses will be closed. They are enemy. Although there is no such symptom that slaughterhouse is going to be closed, but they will think like that. They will think like that the same way. There is no pregnancy, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, then 8th, and the child will go, take birth, and they are thinking like that. So the modern civilization, we are, everyone saying, because you have forbidden no illicit sex, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling, the whole Western world living on these 4 pillars, just see our position. And the same consciousness, the same conscious way, everyone is thinking, If this movement goes on, then how all these nightclubs will go on, how all breweries will go on, how all slaughterhouses will go on, cigarette factories will go on. This is all foolish. So you cannot expect that we will get many friends. That is not possible, because the world is full of kamsas, demons. So we have to struggle, and in the face of so many obstacles, we have come to this standard that there is one Hare Krishna movement. It is very dangerous to the modern way of life. That much is great advance. They are feeling the pulse. Now, when they are meeting state obstacles, everywhere we are meeting obstacles. In Singapore, Pushta Krishna. We went to the airport, Prabhupada. Yes, Pushta Krishna. And practically, they didn't even want to let us stay in the airport. We had to stay there only for 4 hours to catch the next flight. They are so much Prabhupada. This is our position. Gradually, they will show Hare Krishna movement. In India also, although they will want to crush down this movement. So this will be up to him. Krishna or Krishna's movement, the same thing. And Krishna was attempted to be killed by Kamsa, class of men and his company, the demons. So it will be there. It is already there. Don't be disappointed, because that is the meaning that it is successful. Krishna's favor is there because Krishna and Krishna's movement is non-different, identical. So as Krishna was attempted to be killed many, many years before he appeared, an 8th child, if the mother produces child yearly, then still 10 years, 8 years before his birth, the mother was to be attempted to be killed. So there may be attempt like that. And Lord Jesus Christ was killed. So they may kill me also. Srila Prabhupada Rim Conversation, May 3rd, 1976, Honolulu. That was 2 days before I was born. Kamsa didn't wait for Krishna to appear to try to kill him, but he tried to kill his mother, thinking he could check Krishna even appearing in this world. In the same way, the demonic Illuminati knew that if Prabhupada's movement expanded, their plans for world domination would be finished. So they didn't wait to attempt to kill Prabhupada. We have to be assured on the strength of the above quote that, like Kamsa, they wanted to cut Prabhupada down before he even got fully started, nip it in the bud. So what we can learn from this is that even though the Illuminati will have made several attempts to kill Prabhupada, they were totally unsuccessful due to his being fully protected by Krishna, God. Srila Prabhupada only left this world under the direct guidance of the Lord when his work was done, not when the demons tried to kill him. It cannot be checked. So this is a quote again from Srila Prabhupada. It cannot be checked. There may be so many hindrances, but one who is pure devotee, his business cannot be stopped. Srila Prabhupada from a Srimad Bhagavatam lecture 126, Calcutta, February 26, 1974. Similarly, anyone who is ordered by the Lord to perform some action in this material world, especially preaching his glories, cannot be counteracted by anyone. The will of the Lord is executed under all circumstances. Srila Prabhupada from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, 1636. If we look at the final days of Srila Prabhupada's mystical manifestation on this planet, we can note that even though he was regularly fed arsenic for at least over a year, and exclusively for the final months when he was locked up with the Illuminati's agents, he did not die as a mere mortal in pain and agony. Srila Prabhupada left his body fully conscious of Krishna under the Lord's protection. Who can fathom Lord Shri Krishna's love for his devotee, his Senapati Bhakta, Srila Prabhupada? How to avoid the sinister influence of the Illuminati. Translation. Just as the atheist cannot remain in the presence of the personality of Godhead, so also the invulnerable sins of a man are immediately vanquished in your presence, O saint, O great mystic. Purport. There are two classes of human beings, namely the atheist and the devotee of the Lord. The devotee of the Lord, because of manifesting godly qualities, is called a demigod, whereas the atheist is called a demon. The demon cannot stand the presence of Vishnu, the personality of Godhead. The demons are always busy in trying to vanquish the personality of Godhead, but factually, as soon as the personality of Godhead appears, by either his transcendental name, form, attributes, pastimes, paraphernalia, or variegatedness, the demon is at once vanquished. It is said that a ghost cannot remain as soon as the holy name of the Lord is chanted. The great saints and devotees of the Lord are in the list of his paraphernalia, and thus, as soon as saintly devotee is present, the ghostly sins are at once vanquished. That is the verdict of all Vedic literatures. One is recommended, therefore, to associate only with saintly devotees, so that worldly demons and ghosts cannot exert their sinister influence. Srila Prabhupada from Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1934. So we should associate by the vibration and not by the physical presence. So we should, that is real association. Sabdad anavriti, by sound. Oh, Shabdad anavriti, by sound. Just like we are touching Krishna immediately by sound vibration. So we should give more stress on the sound vibration, either of Krishna or of the spiritual master. Then we will feel happy and no separation. Srila Prabhupada lecture 18/8/1968, or August 18th, 1968. So although a physical body is not present, the vibration should be accepted as the presence of the spiritual master. Vibration, what we have heard from the spiritual master, that is living. Lecture, Los Angeles, January 13th, 1969. My Guru Maharaj used to say, don't try to see a saintly person by your eyes. You see a saintly person by the ear. Because if you hear from the saintly person, and if he is speaking from the experience which he has heard from the another saintly person, this is called Guru Parampara, then the knowledge is perfect. Lecture, January 6th. Srimad Bhagavatam 6/142, Los Angeles, 8th of June, 1976. Then the author put, P.S. IRM equals reform the Illuminati, ... Are you having a laugh yet? Yeah, right, you're going to reform the Illuminati. So there is no reforming an organization that was infiltrated as early as the beginning. And their influence became more and more to the point where they poisoned His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Many people know that already, and it's staggering and hard to accept. And yet those who know the most about it, when they heard my story, said, it's really hard to believe your story, except I know what they did to Srila Prabhupada, and so I can believe what you're saying. Because who could be capable of poisoning His Divine Grace, except for those who were the most envious and most afraid that His message was spread? So what have they done? They infiltrated the organization, and they have done their very, very level best to make sure that there is no purity left, to confuse everyone, to introduce vice, and to downplay the practice of purity in the daily lives of the devotees, where most devotees are engaging in outside nonsense, Maya activities, especially with the eating of food cooked by non-devotees, karmi grains, and watching all sorts of lewd things on the television, and little japa here, little Krishna there. And I'm not trying to criticize. It is very difficult to keep the standard of purity when you don't live in a temple and you're trying to deal with a bunch of fallout from trauma. That's very understandable. I'm not criticizing, but within the organization also, it's no longer taught, it's not supported. You know, the leadership isn't on how can we support you in your life to become more and more pure and happy. No, it's not like that. It's like, come, bow your head, pay your dues, follow the rules, or you're out. It's become just another mundane religion for the most part, and now so much they're attacking Srila Prabhupada on so many levels. They attack his Vani, they attacked his presence, and now they want to attack your faith in him to turn it into something innocuous, so that the machinations of their world takeover, which you're seeing every time you look out your window, they want all of those machinations to be successful. So many of ISKCON leadership advocated for the jab. I shake my head in and ask, all right, Krishna, you're here. Certainly, you will be victorious. How will the innocent devotees hear this truth, this message? That it is not leaving Srila Prabhupada's body to leave the organization. It is not leaving Srila Prabhupada to stand up strong in your own home, practice Krishna consciousness purely with like-minded devotees, and reclaim the Hare Krishna movement from the corrupted organization. There is a very big difference. And in that way, in every town and village all over the world, Srila Prabhupada's books, the law books for the next 10,000 years will be worshipped. His Vani will be worshipped. The Guru Parampara continues. The Srila Prabhupada disciples who understand the clear message, become purified, take this message up, become Guru. They can initiate. They don't need a stamp of approval from the corrupt Illuminati organization. That is some simple power structure of the material world. Brahmanas are not dependent on managerial considerations to pass on the pure spiritual truths realized in their own hearts from years of practice. That is a very personal discussion. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself with so many things. This movement was attacked by the cult that hijacked the world, the Illuminati, the Masons, the demons, the Satanists, the non-human entities that are parasites in human society and who have convinced the majority of the world of so many insane things. And this Hare Krishna movement will save the world in its darkest hour. Srila Prabhupada said that, and that's you. If you're hearing this message, take it very, very seriously. Continue chanting and spreading the glories of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Good morning, sweetheart. I love you. Hi.